Samsara assignment by Riley Cerovcec. Today we will go through an Atman's Samsara, which is the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. An Atman is the human soul. It is eternal and immortal. This means that when an Atman's body dies, it leaves its old state and enters a new one. The goal of Samsara is to reach moksha, which is the release from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. In this assignment, we will follow one Atman's soul through 5 different life forms. The bad human was born into a wealthy family where he could do anything he wanted. He was a very successful student when he was young, but he started out high school and he had many substance abuse problems. For the rest of the bad human's life, he was addicted to drugs, and every time someone wanted to help him, he shut them out of his life. On his deathbed, in his late 30s, he wished he could go back and change. He died knowing what he did was wrong. This human was selfish, and he did not care for others, and he had no sense of duty in his life, which led him to have a bad karma. He was a substance abuser, he was rude to others, and he didn't want to let anyone in on his life. This led him to die at a young age. Even though at the end of his life he knew what he had done was wrong, this Atman will move further away from moksha. This Atman now has been reborn as a robin. The robin left its nest at a fairly young age and was ready to take on the challenges of life. The robin collected food for itself and its mate. She built a protected nest for her babies and cared for them until they left the nest. The robin was committed to herself and others. She was protective and she worked very hard. Her dharma was all about hard work, and her consequences of her actions usually led to good things. She received lots of good karma and will move closer to moksha. Our Atman has been reborn as a dog. Right from birth, he was trained as a service dog, and eventually was accepted into the military, where he assisted armed personnel. He was very loyal to his master and assisted him as a scout and a tracker. This dog survived his time in the army and later in life was adopted by an old age home where he comforted the sick and elderly. After his death, many missed and mourned the dog. The dog was loyal, compassionate, and a great friend. He accumulated lots of good karma, which is a cause and effect. His dharma was to always be there for someone in times of hardship. Because of the dog's great life, he'll move closer to moksha. Our Atman has been reborn as a Bodhi tree, also called a peepal tree. It is a sacred tree recognized by Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. The tree grew to be big and strong, and it was placed close to a Hindu temple. During the tree's life, many Hindus would practice meditation under it. The tree blossomed with leaves, which were picked and used for medicine to treat asthma, diabetes, and other medical disorders. This tree's dharma was to provide others with benefits. Since the peepal tree was able to help humans, it received very good karma. All the tree's actions resulted in positive consequences. Because of his good karma and dharma, this Atman will move closer to moksha. Our Atman has finally had the chance to be human again. The human was interested in changing the world from a very young age. After he finished school, the human started a charity to help kids in underdeveloped areas get an education. The human knew that there was many other charities doing the same thing, but he was so determined to change people's lives, he kept going. The human was a great leader, which made his charity blow up. So many famous and rich people invested their time and money. The human had many chances to get rich, but he always put his money back into the charity for donations to build schools and hire teachers. Thousands of kids were able to get an education because of him. The human's dharma was to put others before himself. The human did not do all this because he wanted to get rich and famous, nor he did this for a reward in the afterlife. The human did this because he truly believed that he could help others. Without knowing, he received lots of good karma. The human died of old age after having one of the most influential lives ever. Our Atman attained salvation in which he will reach moksha. The Atman has fulfilled his destiny and has finally escaped the human condition.